It's as you get to your hotel room. But you try and nothing happens, just pain. A month down, the same story. 3 months down, the same story. Well, that happened to me or to us. We read books, we talked to people, we considered sex therapy, and it was a long and harrowing experience. But it made me realize that I had a lot of gaps in my knowledge of myself and my body. So today I want to talk a bit about this experience and how important it is to know your body regardless of if you are abstaining. I will be talking about this with a friend. It's a long conversation, but I hope you hang in there, and I hope that somebody finds this educative or enlightening. I know that I personally would have needed a video like this.
About women living whole and living in freedom.
Freedom, very important.
And I think just with the way that we've culturally been groomed, it's so hard for me to see Christian women not living freedom, especially in this area of sex where God has designed, like this was God's idea. And I hate to see the enemy take credit for it.
I like that.
Yeah.
It actually makes so much sense. And now you just got married and it's like, okay, now you're married. You can do whatever you want to do.
Don't deny your husband.
Yeah, but it's like I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then I had this very long period of time. It was 6 months. I'm going to say 6 months. I know sometimes I tell people and they're like, 6 months? What were you guys doing for 6 months? But that's another story. But I had this long period of time where it wasn't just working. I feel like people tell you, oh, for your first time it's going to be painful. So you have that in your head that's going to be painful. But people don't tell you that sometimes it just may not be possible at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because it just wasn't, it was painful, but minus that, it wasn't just going through.
I have a lot of conversations, right, with some of my friends or people like just online when I will post a book or something. And these are Christian women, right? And I'm just like, majority of the problem or half of the problem is the mindset.
Okay.
So the kind of help I think I was like leaning towards was just like even getting to having the conversation, like normalizing the conversation, like we know, like with women and sex, it's a very psychological thing, right? Like just having to navigate, like, okay, what is your belief system about this? Where did this come from? Like just pulling back those layers and kind of helping you, like, navigate mentally what maybe could have been a hindrance, and then obviously like whatever other help like that you would have needed in terms of, you know, a licensed professional or something, like
Yeah. Well, that would have been helpful actually, because I remember talking to somebody in my book club, and then she said that she's a Christian as well, and then her first time was also when she got married, and it was not possible. But then she went to the hospital and they told her that she had vaginismus. So for a while I thought that maybe that was what I had as well. But I don't even know because I did not go to any hospital. So she was the one that told me about dilators.
Okay.
Right, and then I got that, and even that was a struggle for me, but eventually it worked out, right? And I remember putting on my Insta story, and a lot of women were like asking, they didn't even know what
dilator was in the
to
first place.
start with, and that's kind of like why I felt that I should probably talk about this, right? Because it was a large number of people. They were like, oh, what is that thing? And then someone reached out to me as well, and she's like, oh, she also got married and she has been having this problem, and she thought that it was just her. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's actually a common thing. It's so funny because when it started happening to me, and then I started asking people, and a lot of them had experienced it, but nobody was.
It's shame. It's shame. I think it's a lot of shame, right? Like if you've gone your whole life hearing sex is bad, like that is the narrative, right? That a lot of us have heard. God, English, help us, God. So it's a narrative that a lot of us have heard, right?
Yeah.
That sex is bad, and then you get married. And then all of a sudden, like I said, this 30 years of programming. Okay, now you're married, sex is now good. It's like, how
do you
reconcile that? There's like this cognitive dissonance that's happening where you're just like, okay, sex is bad, but like now it's supposed to be good, but like I've always thought it was bad. So for a lot of women, it's just like, there's this shame of like, well, now I'm actually having sex, which is supposed to be bad, but like it's good. And like, I don't know, I'm supposed to like not deny my husband. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I'm just thinking about it. It was actually a very long, awkward period. And for a while, I was actually like beating myself up about it. And at some point, it now even felt like if I had like opened myself up before I got married, then it's like okay, so now see, what was I now?
What did I gain?
Yeah, what there was no, it just felt like there was no gain because I don't know anything. My body is not functioning like it's supposed to function. That's actually what I was like. My body is not functioning how it's supposed to function. So it was not like, well, might as well have just explode so that now I won't have this problem. But I know that that's not a good thing.
Yeah, and that's the narrative that I think, unfortunately, on the other end of purity, right, like that people don't think about is if you say things in a certain type of way, you're passing across a certain type of message you're not trying to pass across. So in like, you're saying sex is bad. The reason why you're saying sex is bad is because like in our faith as Christians, right, we're not supposed to have, like, it's fornication, having sex out of marriage, right? But like within the marriage context, like, listen, do what you gotta do, okay? That's to make him sad, or like that's just the basis of what this is, right? But now I've made it into some, I don't know, rule and regulation that's like, and so now when you get on the other side, it's just like, why did I even wait? But no, the reason why you actually waited was because you love God.
Yeah, you're right. And that's like the big picture at the end of the day that you should always have in your mind. Okay, I guess.
And can I just say this, like, to all the women, like, I'm so sorry for like the years of horrible programming that a lot of us have received. Like, please know that God literally created sex for you to have pleasure. It was His design. The devil in marriage, so please, hey, God, in marriage, like it is God's design for you to have pleasure through sex. That is just how kind and good of a God He is. So
I agree, even if it's hard afterwards. I
I
think it's very important to say that, because it's like now you're married and then you just figure things out. But for some people like myself, I did not figure anything out. I think I'm even still figuring things out.
And you still will. I feel like you never like, and I think that's the beautiful thing about sex in marriage, is that like you never tire out the ways to please your partner. I think you're always learning, like, at least with the people that I talk to, like the older couples that I talk to that are like in happy marriages. Let me just put that out there because
to be specific.
It's just like you never get tired. There will always be something new. Like even with me now being a new mom, like that has changed
It's a whole different game,
So it's like, okay, this is another mountain we're gonna climb and figure out like, okay, what's gonna work, what's not going to work. And then it's like, okay, you get to a season where like, okay, you have toddlers or like whatever, they're running around the house. It's like, okay, how are we gonna make this work? And like, I mean, you just never get...
I'm stressed. I'm stressed in advance. Oh my goodness. But okay, let me ask you, did you have any of these problems for like you yourself when you got married, or it was just like a breeze?
No, it wasn't a breeze. I don't think, no. I don't